Welcome to our tutorial on building a simple football game in Java. Today, we're going to create a fun and interactive console-based football game where players can move around the field and kick the ball. This will be a great way to learn about object-oriented programming and other Java concepts. Let's get started. First, we need to set up our basic project structure. Create a new directory for your project, and inside it, create a file named footballgame.java. Let's start by defining the main class and a main method. In this method, we'll initialize our game and display the game instructions to the user. Next, we need to set up a simple game loop. This loop will keep the game running until the user decides to exit. We will also set a few initial variables such as player position and ball position. Now, let's implement command handling within the game loop. We will check for movement commands and update the player's position accordingly. If the player presses K, we will handle kicking the ball. Before we proceed, let's introduce a ball and its position in the game. We will place the ball on the field and allow the player to move to it, taking possession of the ball. Now, let's implement the kicking action with a bit of randomness. When the player kicks the ball, we can simulate that the ball moves away a random distance in a random direction. Next, to enhance the game's user experience, let's build a method to render the current state of the game. We will print a simple text representation of the field, player, and ball locations. Incorporate the render field method into your game loop to provide a visual state of the game each time the player executes a command. To make the game even more realistic, let's add boundaries to prevent the player from moving off the field. We will introduce checks in our movement functionality. Great! Now we have a basic football game framework set up. But what if we want to end the game? Let's add a way for the player to exit the game gracefully. Let's review our complete game loop now with all the features we have implemented. Finally, it could be fun to have a scoring system. Let's add a score variable to track how many times the player successfully kicks the ball. Let's print the score in the game loop so that players can always see it. And there we have it. A simple football game built from scratch in Java. You can move your player around the field, kick the ball, and keep track of your score. Remember, this is just a starting point. You can extend this project in many ways. Add a timer, create multiple players, even implement graphics with JavaFX. The possibilities are endless. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial. I hope you learned a lot about Java programming. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments what projects you'd like to see next.